I need to change these flowers. I bought dried lavender recently and well, actually not recently. It's been a while and I need to change. I need to buy some new ones. Today, if you haven't noticed, I'm doing daily videos or I'm trying to do daily videos. I hope me saying it does not break the dopamine or break the spell of doing the daily videos, but um I've lost all my train of thought. So today is wash day, and I have not done anything because I'm like, oh, I need to do my daily video. I need to wash my hair, but I also need to go out this afternoon. And if I wash my hair at this time, it won't dry enough. So maybe I should do it tomorrow. But then I have something to do tomorrow. And if I, but my hair is a mess. But if I pull these out, the wash day twists, then I'll never do the video. Da, da, da. Spiral, 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 spiral. So I turn on the video in the midst of this kind of like spiral to get going of the topic that I wanted to talk about after yesterday's conversation about how to move abroad with a weak passport. I had the thought of talking about like the sneaky things that, sneaky things that keep us in our old life. And some of the sneaky things that kept me in my old life, old ways. And I probably need to revisit them soon because maybe it's time for me to evolve into some new habits and new practices. But, anyways, I started thinking about, sneaky things that keep us in our old lives. And it was something that I wanted to like share and wondered if you had those things or if these were some of the reasons why you were stuck in whatever habit that you're trying to break. And so that is what I want us to discuss today and I want to talk about. But then I went into the spiral of all the things. Yes, my brain. Welcome to Diedre's brain that never shuts up and goes into several, I don't know, loops. Well, it's even looping right now. Yeah, let's go. Focus. Trying to get back focus. It's not today is not one of those focus days. It's hard right now. It's hard for me to focus. Sneaky things that get us. First of all, when I think about the concept of or the thought of moving abroad, and when I was planning to move abroad years ago, um, actually, yeah, years ago, I've moved abroad like 5 times now. And a couple of things that really kind of like let me hit pause on, oh, I'm moving abroad, or oh, I want to move abroad, or this is something I want to change in my life, was there were like a couple of things that really let me hit pause. And one of them was this kind of like, what you might call it, like identity loss, fear of not knowing who I'd become in this new life or new person. Not fear of like giving up my, idea of who I thought I am or was at that point in my life. And like, just like, well, am I going to be that same person? It's kind of like I had these, I had done so much like work on who I was as a person that I felt like moving abroad would disrupt that and kind of like I would have lost all of the work that I'd done. Like it was for in vain or a waste. And the funny part is I don't even know who I was at that point, at that point. Meaning I've become a different person. I've evolved into a new, like a different person. I've changed, I've grown. And so I don't recognize this past Deidre anymore. And it's so funny because like now I'm thinking about it, it's just like, like it's not kind of like a big deal. Like I know the story of who she was in terms of like what her fears were, or, what she wanted to do, where she wanted to go, things like this. But I am not attached to that past Deidre. And I think it's really funny because I was so attached to that version of myself back in the day when I was thinking about moving that it let me pause on actually moving. And it's funny now that I have left and I have moved, it's just kind of like, well, you're also like, I also like this version now of who I am because I accomplished the goal and my dream of moving abroad and moving to a country. And I accomplished that. And I like this person now. And that person that was stuck on trying to figure out things is just another version of me that it's okay. Like, I feel like I've let her go because I've learned and I've explored so much now. And all of that's trying to tie into the fact that this loss or this fear of losing our identity of who we were or who we think we are, and especially if you've done a lot of work into becoming who you are in this moment, it can like really put a block on you moving forward to who you need to become or who you will become after you've like moved abroad and accomplished your goal of moving abroad. And I think we should talk about it. We should sit a while and think about how that impacts our lives and how it impacts, and if you are in this stage, how is it impacting your life and is it hindering you from moving forward, and keeping you stuck. I think in a lot of times this attachment to who we are as a person in our current version keeps us stuck for many things, especially when you've done so much work. Because, yeah, like you've put in so much work, you've evolved, you've created new habits, this is good. Why are you now thinking about disrupting it? Like, that's kind of like the thought process, right? That's kind of like the cycle. Like, why are you now thinking about disrupting it to do something else that is uncertain, that is unsure? But you want to move abroad and you want to accomplish that goal. And this part, like, you need to navigate and figure out, like, well, should I go, or should I accomplish this goal? Like, or should I just stay into who I am? I vote on accomplishing the goal, but it's for you to decide. So I think, yeah, that's like one of the things that popped up when I thought about like what are some of the factors that keeps us stuck. And they're sneaky things that we don't even realize are blocking us from moving forward. And speaking of like that identity loss, when you put so much work into yourself and who you are at the moment, you are also like having a sort of like comfort and satisfaction in how your life is currently, right? And I feel like that becomes sort of like our comfort prison. Things that are familiar, things that we're used to, people that we're used to, places that, knows our name. That is a chapter in my book. Places that know our name, in terms of like you have a favorite cafe, you have a favorite, like restaurant or a waiter who, or like a service person who knows your name and knows your order and like, okay, it's Diedre, so she's gonna get, I don't know, whatever. Um, you have your gym membership and you have your friends at the gym, or you go to Pilates and you and your coach and all the other trainers and everybody else that goes to Pilates who are practicing Pilates with you as well. You have like a nice rhythm going on. Like, this is that kind of like comfort prison that keeps us stuck. And for me, it means that your current life works just enough. It works just good enough. There's not enough like, I don't know if it's struggle, but discontent that will pull you or be like, you know what, I need to stop it right now. I need to figure out this cannot continue anymore. There's not enough pain in your life for you to change the status quo of your life. And that for me is the comfort prison. It's that comfort that we tend to mistake as stability, and sometimes it's more stagnant. Stagnant? It keeps us stagnant, right? And we mistake discomfort as stability, where actually, really, comfort can often keep us stagnant. And I think that's, yeah, it's a sneaky thing, and it creeps up on you, and it leaves you stuck, and it makes you not work hard enough or urgent enough, or towards your goal of moving abroad, if that's what you want, because everything kind of like feels good here. But if you have that goal of experiencing life in a different way on your own terms, even if your current life is currently on your own terms, right? But you want more, or you want to add a different dimension to your life, and through living internationally and living abroad, then you cannot let the comfort prison like hold you hostage, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you do need to rise above it, or get uncomfortable. Find some kind of discomfort that will push you along, that will motivate you. Like, you know what? There's too much pain here. I need to fix it, and I need to work towards a goal. Yeah. I had some other thoughts that I have forgotten because my brain is today. Mm, I had like a whole spiel. I had a whole thing that I wanted to talk about, and I was so excited and revved up. And I still am excited and revved up to talk to you. But it's just hilarious how now my brain is kind of blank, even though I had like everything sorted out. I did a whole presentation run through of it, which is why sometimes I do not like being too prepared, because I will over prepare and my brain will just think, oh, it's done. You've done it. Cool. I went through the whole process like, several times, and just like my brain is like, oh, okay, we've accomplished this, when I haven't actually done the thing. So maybe that's also like another thing that you should think about. I should think about, really, is don't get too caught up in being over prepared, that you trick your brain into feeling that the mission is done when you actually haven't done anything real, like any real action steps. Oh, and that leads me to my actually next point. Re- I call it the research doom spiral. And it's very similar to that kind of like over preparedness and kind of like rumination that you go through, but in a physical way, where you're researching everything. And you research visas, and you research best country to move to, and you research all these things, and you spend all of your time just researching and researching and researching and researching, creating lists of what you need to move, etc., to different countries, and you never end up actually doing the thing. Don't get into this research doom spiral, as I call it, because don't fall down that rabbit hole, um, and get stuck in that loop, right? Because you do want to, action steps is what counts. Physical action, real life, in reality action, not whatever is up in your brain ruminating on things. Don't do it. Don't be like me, because I'm kind of like ruminating. Don't be like me, okay? Don't do it. It will keep you stuck in many things. Um, and don't like, if you are like me, like I said, that sometimes running through and over preparing for things makes it feel like you've accomplished a task, then leave space in your to-do list or whatever you're preparing in your preparations, so that you're able to actually physically go out and do it in reality. What other sneaky things keep us stuck? Speaking of like, okay, so I talked about like rumination and stuff like this. I think also there's this other part of life or thing that we do, and I do it as well, is waiting to kind of like feel excited or ready about whatever step that you're taking. And in this case, we're talking about moving abroad, and it's just like waiting to feel excited about, yeah, I'm moving abroad, or waiting to feel like ready to move abroad. And the excitement, I'm not saying you shouldn't be excited because moving abroad is an exciting thing, but let's have a reality check here. Moving abroad is also a very bureaucratic thing. There are lots of documentations that you have to do. There are lots of processes that you do need to prepare and go through. And unless you love admin type work, this is not exciting for anyone, right? And so I think waiting to feel excited about this process when you do have a lot of administrative and bureaucratic things as your kind of like first few steps that you need to organize and sort out. I wouldn't say that it delays the excitement, but it's a different type of you're not gonna get on some kind of like dopamine rush or high about this unless you're a person that just naturally likes these kind of things. I think many of us, I don't know if I dare say most of us, but many of us don't like admin work and don't find some kind of great um great excitement doing bureaucratic documentation. Like, I don't think we're this person. So I think what's good here is to reframe it. Instead of thinking about when am I going to be excited about this process, I would reframe it, and I do reframe things as this is reassurance. The ball is rolling. This is reassurance. The ball is rolling. Let's go. Because you are going through the documentation. You have started the process. And that for me, even though the act itself might not be exciting, that for me gives me a sort of like reassurance that this is real and it's tangible and we are moving towards that goal of moving abroad. That is where I find the excitement. Reframing it as that sort of like reassuring, tangible, like a grounding point. If I hope I'm making sense, but just reaffirming things and saying and being grounded in the fact that this is happening in reality and it's going on helps me to find the excitement to continue in the process and to move on. And the other part about like waiting to feel ready, for me, I don't know if it happens a little bit before or not, but it's kind of like readiness can mean a lot of things to many people, and maybe it means something different to you. So you should think about what readiness means and make sure that you're not like confusing it or conflating it with um, permission. Kind of like only when I have X amount of things or I'm successful enough or whatever enough, then will I be ready to move. I don't think anybody is ever fully 100% ready to move or to move abroad. And I don't think in any goal anybody is generally 100% ready to do the thing because moving on to a next step or a new chapter in your life and moving abroad, as you know, moving abroad, for example, it comes with a certain amount of uncertainty and you don't know what's going to happen next. So how are you going to be ready? Readiness comes in the action of taking each step one by one and working through each step one by one, and then you get ready and you build up enough skills to encounter the next step. in your process, in your goal to move abroad. Like, I think that's what readiness is. And so sometimes we get caught up in wanting to be ready for the whole thing, like feeling, oh, I need to be ready for every single thing that I might encounter in moving abroad before I actually take the step to move abroad. And that is insanity. I don't want to call it, we are not insane here, right? That is a little bit wild because how are you going to know every single step that's going to happen in a step that is uncertain? Like you don't know, you can't know every single thing that's going to happen in your move abroad process. And if you're taking this step of this point of view of readiness, you're probably also scaring yourself out of a really great opportunity because we tend to think about worst case scenarios when we're in this state of mind. And for sure, it's never going to turn out the way that you think or you imagined it. And that does not mean that's a bad thing. If you had worst case scenarios and it turned out way easier, then that's great. Sometimes it can turn out way worse than you thought about it. Or it could be simpler, or it could become complex in just a way that you hadn't imagined. So, like, don't wait to be ready, especially don't wait to be ready for the entire scenario of what could happen when you move abroad. Then you'll never move abroad. It's not going to, like, if you're looking for comfort in that sort of like readiness, then I'm just here to tell you that you will never be comforted like this. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Be ready. Once you're ready for one step, take that step. And then wait, and then just move on to the next step. And then you get yourself ready for the next step and you take it, etc., etc. Like, this is how you go. And I think that I try to approach most things in my life like this. I'm not saying it's easiest. We all procrastinate on things and we all have our doubts. I have my doubts and stuff. But I do try to approach every move abroad plan in this way. Just understanding what's the first steps that I need to do, and then do that, and then move on and learn again what's the next steps that I need to do. Then I do that, and then what's the next step? And soon enough, I'm on a plane and in a new country. Ta-da! Yeah, yeah. I think that's it. Mm, we've kind of talked about a lot of our inner turmoils and our thoughts and like what fears we might have. I think we also underestimate how much we let other people's fear impact or dictate our move abroad process. Don't let other people's fear pause or put a stop on your moving abroad plan. Some of it is likely kind of like concern. Many times the people in your life don't know what you're doing. Like, they don't understand because they've never done it as well. Like, they aren't moving abroad. This is probably not a goal that they have in their life because they probably would have done it if this was a goal in their life, you know? Or maybe they do have that goal, but they have a lot of fears around a goal of moving abroad. And so they might project a lot of that on you. Or, that kind of like well-intentioned, well, we want what's best for you kind of life. And it really just isn't like helpful in this way, I would say. Oh, what's going on my phone? Sorry. I had a message that I had to read and I forgot to stop my phone and just got stuck, put my phone on silent and got dragged into it. Um, yeah, so I was saying letting other people dictate their fears dictate what you want to do and how you go about your move abroad process. Don't let that happen to you. Sometimes on the flip side, we tend to like the feeling of being the person who like wants to please these people and inner act of being a good daughter or a good wife or a good partner, a good whatever. We let their expectations on what they think we should be doing with our lives dictate how we run our lives and live our lives. And I think especially if you have like people pleasing tendencies, you might fall into that trap much quicker than somebody else. Yeah. So don't do this. My brain is everywhere. You have no idea how hard it is. I've been trying to like focus, like trying to put blinders on. My brain is going wild today. But I really wanted to talk about this topic, and I don't know if I said anything useful. I don't know what I've been saying. I've just been letting whatever that's downloaded from the chaos in my brain right now come through, and I hope it's coherent because I'm not going to be editing this video. It's going to be unscripted. I think I will just cut the dead silence at the start when I was trying to like who saw my brain into clarity. But you're gonna see Diedre on some kind of like weird tangent. When your brain is like this, do not let it stop you from your mission. Right now, my brain is, and I don't know when it would stop, but I committed to doing a video today, and so I am doing the video regardless because I am human and I am here to share with you, and we can still have a discussion, right? Yeah. Let me know in the comments if there is any sneaky thing, anything that I've said that really kind of like speaks to you about what's stopping you from moving abroad. And if there are other reasons, then tell me in the comment what's stopping you from, doing your move abroad plan. What's stopping you from moving abroad? Let's chat in the comments. See you later. Ciao.